do have to say, we get the most gorgeous sunsets here in Idaho. Yep, here's another sunset, folks. Got last night's sunset, now you get tonight's. Enjoy. Well, good evening, everyone. This is Meg's Little House in the Country, and this is the sunrise and sunset, or sunset and sunrise video, I guess, since we started off with a series of sunrises and sunsets. It's been a busy week, so getting out and doing stuff just didn't happen much. Not to mention, it's been a little toasty warm outside during the daytime. It's 8 o'clock in the evening now, and it's finally cooled off enough to be nice and pleasant. I'm coming out to my little baby trees out here. I've got a few lower branches that need to be snipped off. I'm gonna see what we can do to prune these. Yeah. There we go. Just gotta get those out. It'll get much better upward growth if we prune off some of these, everything that's low down. Everything's been so. I don't know how much you saw me doing that. Okay, need to get up here now along this trunk, and we're going to pick off all these. By the time I get done, the little tree will look more like a little tree and not like a little bush. Okay. All right. There we go. Little tree is looking more like a little tree. Okay. One down. And you can see it looks more like a little tree now. Let's clean some of this out. All right, on to the next one. I got them all nice and watered. Discovered my hose is a little defective. Oh, let's see. We're just going to take this one off. And yeah, you see we got a lot of really big lower branches. Last year I left them on mostly so it could get some good growth on it. Oh, these are tough. But now it's time to start getting a good shape to these trees, or they're just going to turn into large shrubs back here. I don't know why that's not snipping off the way it should. Let's see. Yep. Let's see if I turn it this way. Oh boy. I think I might need to just sharpen these darn things. Anyways, it's finally cooled off enough to get out here and okay. There. That one's looking a little more tree shaped and a little less bush shaped. Let's see if we can get the little wire protector around it. I just want something in case my neighbors ever decide to help mow back here. They're not going to mow my trees. Okay, that one's looking better. Now we got this tiny little thing back here. It got a really good watering. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to take much off. It's got, I think, just this one little there and something else down here. There we go. This one's struggling. Yeah, I think it's a completely different variety than the other two. I'm not sure what, but it's sure struggling back here. I may need to mix up a bucket of fertilizer and just pour it down around the whole thing. Get it a good fertilizing. The other trees are now looking like trees. Oh, look out here and I see baby trees. It's going to take them a while to grow up, but keep them watered and they should grow up real nice. Well, anyways, for my Sunday morning hymn, which will come out 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, I've already got it scheduled. It's one honoring pioneer ancestors called "They the Builders of the Nation." And I'm descended from pioneers. I've got a several times great grandmother who came across in a covered wagon with her crippled husband and her 5 young children. At least part of the trip. She had 5 of them. Her oldest son went to fight in the war with Mexico. While crossing, he was 15 at the time. And yeah, they took young boys that young. And that was her oldest son, who she depended on since her husband had been crippled 5 years earlier from a neck injury. And her name was Drusilla Doris Hendricks. And one thing I often wonder is, boy, the things she went through. And then when they finally got out west, they settled down, and she had to be the sole support of the family too. She took up a lot of sewing. She did a lot of sewing for people as a seamstress. They also settled near some hot springs and opened up a bathhouse. Got to finish getting the pumpkins, but the pumpkins are doing pretty good here. They're gonna need another good watering tonight. It got really hot today, and it looks like this one got a little dehydrated. Gosh darn it, look at that. Those leaves got a little dehydrated and cooked. But he'll do okay, he'll bounce back. I'll get the sprinkler going tonight, and everything will get a good watering. And I need to finish weeding in here. You can see I've been just doing a lot of weeding. The weeds seem to grow faster than the pumpkins right now. They all got good, well fertilized last week, and they're due for another good fertilizing. They've literally tripled in size since I fertilized them last week. So we're going to do that again. But anyways, my several times great-grandmother, she crossed the plains with her children, and her husband was in the covered wagon. And I think about our people who crossed the plains, headed out west. They were in covered wagons, they were on foot, they had hand carts, some on horseback, some rode mules. The tenacity and strength of character they had to head west to try and build themselves a better future than what they could find back east. And what it took, and the struggles they went through. And this wasn't a wee little trip. This was a big trip. Oh God, my zucchini are starting to bloom. Awesome. Oh look, I got a baby zucchini! And the sprinkler just went by. I forgot the field's sprinkler. I've also been picking and eating peas and carrots. Look at that. See? That one's big enough to pick. Seems like you go 2 days without picking, you come out here and you find giant pea pods. These are sugar snap peas. So, the water was a little chilly. My eggplants are doing better. Look how nice green color. I gotta watch out for the sprinkler. Here it comes again. Woo! Okay. This one shot up and got tall. Look at that nice dark green color. That yellowish, sickly yellowish color the eggplants had, that's all gone. My tomatoes are getting tall too. I mean, look at that. They're getting tall in there. And yes, I keep thinning out the carrots. I got a ton of baby carrots in my fridge that I need to wash and trim and use. I still got a ton of carrots out here. Had to pull and toss some of them. They were actually bolting and going to seed, and I thought, that is weird. And I have these great big huge thick greens, and I pull it up, no root, and I'm just going. So now I have to watch out. I have to come here and look for ones that are decided, instead of growing a root, they're going to go to seed. But yep, July 24th is considered Pioneer Day. Today we honor our pioneer ancestors. And so, for the hymn for Sunday this year, I decided on one that honors pioneer ancestors. And I still got some service berries here. All the ones on the big bush are gone, but I got a few little service berries here that are ripening. The birds really don't see them right now. They're kind of hidden in the willow, which needs to be trimmed. We need to find a tree. There's got to be a tree in there somewhere. I mean, look at that. It's just a huge shrub. If not, we'll cut it all down again and I'll start all over again. Only this time I'll do it proper. But I do think there's one in there that's big enough and thick enough to be considered a tree. And we're going to get it. We're going to find it. But yeah, for those of you who are descendants of people who came across the plains and who faced all kinds of dangers and starvation because they didn't have any supermarkets. Couldn't go to the nearest grocery store and get something to eat. Carried in whatever wagon train you were in. There was a supply wagon that carried all the food, and you carried a few necessities yourself. But mostly you foraged along the way, looking for plants and fruit and animals to sustain you. Prayed that hunting would be good. And then you headed out into the great unknown and prayed you'd make it to the end. A lot of people died along pioneer trails. There's got the trail going up into Oregon Trail. A lot of people died on that. Never made it. Unexpected winter storms coming in early. People would freeze to death. So I'm very much an admirer of my great-grandmother, who had strength and tenacity and the will to get her and her husband, who was crippled, like I said. He could walk with a couple of canes, but he had no fine motor control in his hands. She had to dress and undress and bathe him and all that, but she loved and adored him, and she felt honored to take care of him till he passed away. He was in his 70s when he passed away. And yeah, honor those who came before, who carved out the paths, and who created the foundations upon which our nation was built. And with that, I will let y'all go. I think I rambled on long enough. We're gonna have another beautiful sunset tonight, and I may come out and get a shot of that before I let y'all go. But if you like my videos, please remember to share, like, and subscribe. Every little bit helps. Every like helps. I love the comments. Such wonderful people who have left comments on my videos. And I'll see y'all on the next video.